Alrighty, welcome back everyone. We are back for another Darkest Dungeon run. We're going to run a short dungeon with 100% room clear through the Warrens. We have not gone through here yet. We're taking the Man-at-Arms, Abomination, Occultist, and the Plague Doctor. When you take Abominations, you can actually not take anybody that is holy, so you cannot take a Vestal or a Crusader with you because I'll show why in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and move trinkets around just real quick. The Abomination has a lot of blight, and also so does, and the no one here has bleed on them at all, so this really doesn't benefit me at all. But I do get a dodge trinket here as well. I'm going to put it on my frontline fighters. And we're ready to go in. It's another short, so we're going to take 8 food. We have the Warrens, so we're going to take some shovels. Always 1 key, always 8 torches. And here's a interesting one. This is a place where you want to take an extra torch. I'll show why if it actually comes up. We also want to take some herbs. This is a place where we want to take the most herbs out of any place, because there's a lot of interaction with them. We'll see if we need a bandage, and we'll see if we need a holy water. We probably won't, but we'll see. You take a lot of different things here in the Warrens, because a lot of interactions come up. This is where you get to fight a lot of not very pleasant things to look at. They're mostly pigs that stand on 2 legs and fight and beat you up. It's kind of disgusting, but it's what we have to kill. We got a pretty good look of a dungeon here. And it's going to be very short, simple, and to the point. We only have to clear the room battles. We may only have like 1 or 2 fights here. If we have a curio, we always get a fight. So we'll go from there. Here we can do the blinding gas. And knock out these 2 in the back. They'll both get stunned, most likely. Yep, they do. Even though he had 50% resistance, he still got stunned. That just skips their turn. Great. These are worms, carrion eaters. They just get a do attacks up front, create a lot of blight. This guy does a lot of drum activation, pumps his guys, and also does a lot of stress damage to our party. This is the other person that has riposte in the game. He is also the other tank in the game. One of the other tanks in the game. It's called Retribution. It gives a riposte and a mark. Does not give much damage, but if he takes damage, he gets to deal it back with his shield at 4 points of swap. This guy gets 2 blights here in the middle. These are not affected by blights at all. He can also just mangle and stun, which seems great. He can transform into like basically a huge beast as well, which I will show off here later when that comes time. I don't like showing off early because it does create stress for my party, and I want to keep their stress low as much as possible. So here we're just going to eliminate this worm and keep moving up. That was a crit. That was not good, but it didn't take a lot of his health, we got to deal damage back. He's getting just manhandled, but he's also dealing with it pretty well, which is good. Yeah, so we cannot do much back here. Now we only have 1 target. We can still Plague Grenade here and get a blight or miss. That's unfortunate. So we didn't do much damage there. That's fine. There's his massive attack that didn't do much. Put a lot of stress on our guys. But all it did was actually just got him killed. So we get to heal here. Got a crit. Got some stress healing done. And now we get our final attack on him. We now have a bleed. We can cure that with bandage if we want to, but it's only going to do like 2 points of damage, so it's not really that big of a deal. And then we just finished him off. We got a bounty hunter trinket, and we can also end the quest. The bounty hunter trinket's actually pretty good. We have a chance to end the quest here if we want to. I'm just going to go ahead and continue and move on. We could have actually interacted with that curio, but it's not that good of one, and you can use Holy Water on it. Since we already pretty much have ended the quest, I don't really want to waste the Holy Water. I'm just going to save it for money later and not get the buff. This is like the only fight left probably in the dungeon. There's probably more fights in the other hallways. We can just skip it or go back to it if we want to later. Here's a dining cart. We can use herbs on that and get a bunch of food and get some gold. That was not a really good trade-off, but it was what we did. We could have maybe got some better rolls and got some more better things out of it than what we got. Okay, we did not actually get the trap. Numbers that we need. As you can see, I'm not using my torches because we've already completed this dungeon. I'm just deciding when I actually want to leave it. Since we're getting scouts, I want to keep going and see if I can get more money out of this actual run because we spent a little bit on it. I kind of want to get a little more money to salvage out of it. We have fights in the hallway we can take on if we want to. We already could have got that trinket earlier. We don't need it right now. It's not a bad one. I like it. It's move skill and resistance. It's great on a actually a bounty hunter. It's actually great on them. Here we can take a fight. Probably not going to be that hard. If it becomes hard, I'll put the torches back up and we'll actually have a problem. I'm going to show you what a dark fight looks like here in the game, actually. It can be a lot rougher. They tend to do a lot more damage. And they tend to do a lot more stress damage. I'm also going to transform here when it gets to his turn and show you what he can do on transform as well. So they've all gone. It's now my turn to actually start eliminating these occultists left and right. If you transform, you still get your activation. You still get to do stuff. It stresses all your guys out. Now I can rage. I can also claw the front two guys to do more. It does quite a bit of damage. Rage just hits one target, but hits the first three. And I can also slam, knocking them back and creating a lot of dodge. And also, it gets negative. It gets a lot of. Can't show this down here. It also gets something else I can't actually show you. Let me show you instead. -2 speed buff. I don't like the slam very often. I mostly like the rage, and I like the rake. Because it does a lot of damage up front. You eliminate two guys pretty fast. And that's what we're going to do. Here I can hit all three. I want to eliminate the people who do damage first. But if I miss, then I guess I'm just going to go ahead and not care which ones I kill. Here's another Blight. He's at 1 health when he goes. And he takes stress every turn while he's in this state. So if you have a chance to get him out of it, you kind of want to. That's a great heal. And he resists the bleed, which also helps out too. So you kind of want to get him out of that before the before the battle ends, so he eliminates stress from the party. If you don't have a chance to, it's not a big deal. But you kind of want to, so you can get him healed up in stress and get your guys also healed up in stress a little bit. I'm going to probably commit both these guys to the bar or church once we get back, because they both have a lot of stress because we caused it because we transformed. That's fine. And we're also in dark mode, so we're also getting it in here. Actually, we're going to go ahead and just turn off the torch and go full dark. That's what looks like complete dark. It gives you more loot and better crits. However, you take more damage and you also get more stress on your party as well. I'm just messing with my inventory a little bit here so I can carry all these lovely things I just picked up. Here's a cool thing. You have your hard party all just mangled and not in the order you want. Default party order, back in the right where you want them. these things, you have the option to either do holy water or just skip them. Gives you a lot of good curio. Gives you a lot of good heirlooms that you want to get for your upgrades on the town. Here we get in our scout. We see our curio, so we're going to go after it. And we got a little food. We still have a ton of food left. We're doing fine. Not worry about it. Here's another barrel. I'll show you what it looks like because I accidentally almost skipped over it. And you can use food on that as well. It gives mostly buffs. On occasion, it'll give you actual things to take back loot-wise. But it's mostly just a buff that you get until camp. A lot of damage. Here we did not get scout. Here is why we want the extra scrolls. Pile of scrolls. So, in each of the 4 different dungeons, the Cove, the Weald, the Warrens, the Ruins, you have one type of curio that can remove quirks. And this one is the Pile of Scrolls. So I'm going to look through my characters and see which one of the quirks I don't like a lot. Clumsy is pretty bad. I don't like that. It's 5 dodge. Anything that has a negative effect while you're fighting is the ones you want to get rid of. If you don't see those, maybe you want to get rid of Kleptomaniac, because that's just annoyingly to your party. I'm going to go ahead and do it on the Man-at-Arms. Whichever person you are targeted with is the one that will actually activate the curio. You throw a torch here, burn the scrolls, and that's what got removed. I had a 50-50 chance of actually removing the Clumsy. I didn't get that. I got the other one. So we're going to move on through this empty hallway, find a trap. And then we're going to end there. We have a ton of stress on our guys. That's fine. We can remove it here in the bar or in the church. We were looking for a lot more money there and a lot more heirlooms to upgrade our town. And we have all level 1s, so we got 0s and 1s. As far as the levels, got Slugger, which gives us plus 10 damage in melee. That guy doesn't have really any melee attacks. That's unfortunate. He has like 1 melee attack. I don't know if he even has 1.
The degeneracy of the hamlet is nothing, I fear, when compared.
Yeah, he has 1 incision. If we wanted to add that, we could. It's not really that great. So what happened when we were gone? Well, people lost he lost his tetanus, and they lost a bunch of stress. They're back down to almost 0. When you come back to the town, remove all your guys, just so you can figure out who has the least amount of stress. Go up here, and see how much stress I can. You kind of want to make it cheap for yourself in the early game. So you kind of want to figure out where you can get the cheapness of each person to relieve stress. On occasion, this person here, the caretaker, will block you. So it's kind of one reason why you want to have 2 of the 3 open in a lot of the areas. You don't want to commit too many people because you still want to have enough people to take out on a party. Here I'm also full, so I could add more. I don't want any of these people yet, so I'm going to wait on them before I pick any of them. I'm not going to figure out my party, who I want to bring for the next fight, before I actually decide if I want to commit anyone else. Here we have the choice of the same trinket on both of these quests. We have not gone in the Cove yet, so I could show you that. I'm just choosing between the busts and the deeds now. I'm going to go in the Cove just so I can show everybody. I'm just going to show off the Cove. Now, I'm not taking anyone who has a lot of stress. I'm going to take these 3 and dismiss. So now I can actually add Renaud to the stress and get rid of his stress meter a little bit. I could also add the Abomination as well, but we'll see if I have enough money afterwards. Apparently he can't go any place except for the brothel. And as you can see, oh, he can't do the brothel. He can only do... He only likes to be... In the town, he will only be flagged, which is here. And that's being taken up by the caretaker. So that's fine. He can just keep his stress right now. I don't need to take anyone to the disease relief place. I could keep one of his lovely good quirks. One, I don't like them. Two, it costs me a lot of money, so I'm not going to do that right now. I want to try to save as much money as possible. There's another place I can also go to, which will open up later. And this will also open up later. It has not opened up yet from the end of the game. We are still kind of new to the game. We have not really opened up all the areas yet. We're still working on that, per se. I'm just adding in the trinkets in here really quickly. You kind of always want to take as many trinkets as you can. Some may not benefit you much. If you don't have anything that benefits you, then just don't take it, because a lot of them have debuffs and you don't want the actual debuff to affect you at all. Like here, I'm just going to leave her with one trinket. I don't have anything else I can take her. She doesn't have any bleed. She doesn't have any move. I can get her the move resistance for the debuff. I mean, that's fine. I'm not really worried about that, honestly. It's not really a big deal in the Cove. Move resistance will be for later on, honestly, when you actually have a lot of enemies that actually do move resistance. Actually try to move the party around a lot. Here in the Cove, you want to take a max amount of shovels and not that many keys, because most of the things you're going to be interacting with will take a shovel. You can also take anti-venom if you want to. I like taking it when I have boss fights, because it is needed there more or less. I don't like taking it otherwise. The herbs, that you definitely want to have 2 of, because of a reason I'll show you when it comes up, if it does. And then we're going to go ahead and go with torches, and that's about it. That's all we need. We don't need bandages. We don't need holy water in this place. We can take it. It does activate on something, but I don't really want to spend the money on unless we have a boss fight, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Cool. Moving on. So we're going to the Cove. Cove kind of means what you think it means. Fish. We're going to fight a lot of murlocs. A lot of type of fish people. We got another great looking map here. It's a straight line. We're going to move right through it and not have to worry too much. We got a fight coming up right away. Bunch of fish. And jellyfish and snails. This guy in the back does a lot of buffing, also a lot of healing. Also, he tends to also do a lot of stress. We're going to try to eliminate him fast. Then this one, and then this one. This one has a lot of protection. He's last target. Always. Goodbye. Once again, the grave robber here does a lot of critting. Use her a lot. She's good. Here, I'm just going to go ahead and get the judgment. I don't need the healing, but I want to do the damage. That's fine. The Spearmaster tends to do a lot of crits, tends to do a lot of damage. Doesn't have much dodge, but is generally good, seems to go first or second a lot of times. Here we can do Repose to get ready for the pistol, point blank shot. And here's our new character. He is one of the other heavy damage dealers and also a tank. He has Hugh, which hits 2 targets. He also has Chop, which hits 1 target, does more damage. He has Purge, which knocks people back and clears all the corpses, which is neat. And then he also has a buff. I can change it to be a little bit other different things here. I might get Intimidate, actually, later on. I just didn't spend the money on it. Because I really want to show off his other skills. That was his attack that deals to hits 2 characters. The Hue. He had so much protection, it didn't really matter. I was just trying to get damage on him to actually get rid of him here at this turn. This guy has 7 speed, this has 6 speed. I want to try and get this one dead first. I missed. Darn. Because I missed, I got plus to my accuracy. Now I'm never going to miss with her. I'm going to wait on point blank, try to get rid of this guy before he attacks. If you ever have the chance to just make a decision on where you want to kill something before they attack, go ahead and do that, because you want to try to eliminate as many attacks as the enemies can on their side. We actually got a kill on the snail. They have a hard shell, and they tend to not take many hits that do a lot of damage. Empty room, moving on, getting a lot of scouts, which are always good to see the traps and what comes up in front of you to kind of be ready. These things, you just leave alone. Yeah. They're called Bass Relief. Yeah, you just leave them alone. I don't really bother with them at all. They do so many bad things to you. It's not even worth bothering with. Here's the Thrall. A new enemy. Basically what he does is the first attack he does is normal. The second attack he does is exploding. His stomach explodes all over you and you all 4 take damage. We don't want that to happen, so we have 2 options. Either A, kill him, or B, stun him. I'm going to try to just kill him. Seems easier. If you stun him, then he will not do both those attacks. He has to do one and then the other in that order in order to get the order right every time. He has to do one then the other in order to actually get the explode. So you kind of want to kill him fast. He's always first priority when you're doing the fights. And he's there. Sometimes he will show up in the 3rd slot and you can't actually hit him right away. So you have to kind of finagle your way around to actually get to him. Here I'm going to riposte just to get back in the front line. And the bad thing about the leper, he tends to miss a lot. His accuracy is the lowest in the whole game. So if you ever get accuracy trinkets in the game, you want to put them on him because he will tend to be the one most likely to miss. So you just want to be aware of that when it comes up. Here I can get a bleed on him. He's at 1 health essentially. And now he's gone. I'm not really worried about healing yet. He's got 10 less. We're doing fine. I'm probably going to heal up a little bit before this actual room fight. So we'll heal up in the next battle that we got coming up here anyways. We're just picking up some baggage, moving on. We got our journal here. And in our fight, these are bandits. We've actually not seen them yet, except for the old road. They're basically your run-of-the-mill bad guys who's trying to steal your stuff. This guy always gets in the way of the other 2 little guys that are behind him. They tend to do pretty much the same damage as everybody else. He's a big guy, does a lot of damage, has a lot of health as well. But we can just do a lot right back. That was 25, that was a crit, that was a lot. Oh, wow. Okay. Moving on, that's what point blank shot does. We've seen that before. Pretty sweet. We just killed the big dude before he even got a chance to swing. That's awesome. We are playing on medium here. So we are not actually playing on the hardest scale we could be playing on. I'm doing that because I want to show this game off. I might make a couple mistakes, and I don't want to actually be hindered by that too much. But I do want to showcase all the abilities and all the fun things you can do while you're playing Darkest Dungeon. Because this game is sweet. So here we have a person who cannot do much because he cannot actually attack the back row. So, buff him. Now he's got accuracy, crit, and damage. There's only one guy left anyways. It's not really a big deal. Those are going to last for a couple rounds. We'll get the quick fight here to where he'll actually have those buffs actually on him for next fight, which is nice. If we can kill this guy fast, that'd be helpful. Once again, we could not hit the front row. Once we hit the front row with this guy, so we're just going to go ahead and try to get rid of the corpse. I'm going to keep buffing because it's going to be awesome. And buffs stack. They refresh the rounds and they also stack on your guy. So it's going to be now 50% damage and 20% accuracy and 2 crit. That's a good way to make his accuracy better than what it was prior. Now it's up to 85 instead of, I'm sorry. Now it's up 20, which will probably be about 95, 100, roughly around there. And here's our room fight. Okay, this front guy here, the Guardian, he tends to have a protection spell that guards one of these other 3 characters. He will probably cast it in the first or second round on one of his guys. And we can't actually target them unless we hit him first. It will make it so the attacks just go right back to the Guardian. Hence the name. It's unfortunate, but we're going to try to eliminate the back row before we have to worry about that. Here we go. We got another Death's Door. Happily, he did not get the bleed. We still have the Vestal needs to go, so she can heal and get him right back better. So he's not at Death's Door anymore. He actually guarded the Brawler, which is just going to do a lot of damage. Here I can hit both of them, or I can chop and hit the wrong person. I'm going to hit Hugh and hit both and kill the one he guarded. Because that's just seems to be the right thing. They're also got the healer out of the way. Just like in D&D, you want to take the healer out, then the mage, then the actual fighters. Because they will tend to do the most damage as well. Just like in D&D, it's the same thing. Just like in Darkest Dungeon. You just gotta figure out which one's which in that whole line of 4. So here we keep going. Sometimes my guys like to have a little chat and say ugh and everything and talk, and it's kind of funny. Adds a little flavor to the game, and I just enjoy and laugh at a little bit inside. He's taking an extra 5 points damage every turn. He's almost gone. I'm just going to keep up healing, just keep up trying to keep him out of not getting destroyed here. And he's taken now 7 per round. He's at 2. He is almost dead. He has a lot of protections, that's why I'm trying to whittle him down instead of taking out the lady behind him. And also, this guy has I'm going to go ahead and knock him back and clear the corpses, because I want her to be up front and get rid of the corpses so I can actually kill her a lot quicker. She brought my grave robber to front. That's kind of bad, but I'll fix it. It's not a big deal. I cleared the corpses here so I can actually get her to take damage from other people. Here's a good time where the Shade Fate is actually beneficial to us. She can't do anything else but that, so she's going to Shadow Fade, sorry. And it moves her back one, and then also stuns the only enemy we have left. When your party gets messed up in their row, you can actually move them around. Here's the fish idol. If we had Holy Honor, which we now do because we collected it, it'll give us a buff of some sort. It's usually damage. And we have that until we camp, which is also now the rest of this dungeon. We have not hit a hunger tile yet, so we'll probably hit one in this hallway or the next. Like I said, they are all actually random. There's a trap. We'll get rid of that trap. We have 3 rooms left. We only need to complete room battles. We only have this room and possibly this room in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and eat some food just to keep my guys around. Still want to keep 4 food in case I hit a hunger tile, but other than that, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Alrighty, here we have to prioritize this Thrall and these stingers as well. This guy is last priority. There goes a stinger. They're jellyfish. They don't have much of a protection. They don't have any protection at all, but they have a lot of dodge and a lot of speed, so they tend to go really fast. They also tend to do bleeds and stuns a lot of times, just like what they would in real life. If you ever got attacked by jellyfish in real life, you'd know what that feels like. I luckily never have. So there was the grab, I'm sorry. So his next attack will be exploding. Unless he's like stunned. Or dead by that time. We'll find out. He's dead. Okay, that works for me. Okay. You guarded the stinger, that's fine. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and just now make you priority number 1 and you priority number 2. That's fine. Should I keep healing? I'm trying to keep my guys off that death's door that we already got once here. And keep going. He can create bleeds a lot of times, as we just got one there. They're usually pretty bad, so when it gets to his turn, I'm going to go ahead and use the bandage here and get rid of that bleed. I could also cure it if I had this ability, but in fights you cannot change your abilities at all. You kind of have to just prepare when you go into a fight what you think is going to be there. You could not do it in mid-combat. That's the bleed that they have. It didn't work. Bleed resistance for your guys are about the same across the board. It's not very good. Some, like the Highwayman, because he also knows how to do bleed, he can usually tend to fade the bleeds pretty well. There's another lovely miss. Only downside about the leper is his misses. Otherwise, he does a good amount of damage to replace that miss. That is getting to be annoying. Okay. This is going to be a point where this might become bad. That's unfortunate. Well, the good news is the Guardian's dead. So his thing has fallen off here on the shocker, on the stinger. But however, we keep missing, so we're doing great. Okay, well, we got a little bit of heal there. And there he goes. And we're done. We have the option once again to go back to the hamlet. I'm going to hit this curio and then head out. Okay. Heal before you die. Thank you. Because I want to show this off. This is the coral. This is the other. This is one of the. This is one of the ones that takes away quirks in the cove. So I'm gonna look through real quick and see what I want to get rid of. That's not bad. Known cheat. That means you can not allowed to gamble in the ways to take away stress. She can only drink in town. That's not all that bad either. He's not. She's a terrible gambler. It's kind of funny sometimes though. May not meditate and will not take prayer. She has a lot of ways to not take in her stress healing. But they're all just not really. Not going to matter. Herbs. Alrighty, we removed one of those lovely quirks. We have a trap here we can just go and disarm because it removes some stress from a highwayman. We'll do that. And then we'll leave.
At last, wholesome marine life can flourish.
Alrighty, we got a lot of money here.
There is such a thing.
7,000, that's not bad. And a lot of crests. Okay. A level 2, good. Level 1, good. The Red Plague. Sometimes when you leave some of these dungeons, you do leave with a disease. That's also one of the worst ones. Yeah, Red Plague and Black Plague. Get rid of right away. So we're going to clean up now.
Remember days when the sun shone.
Already a lot of stress got taken care of.
Could be heard from the tavern.
And now we're going to remove our guys just so we can figure out who has the worst stress. And also who we have to commit to these lovely places. We have to get rid of Black Plague. Or sorry, Red Plague. Because that is a nasty one. But it does happen sometimes. It's okay. And he also needs to be committed later on to stress. Rayon went on there on his own? Okay. And that's it. That's all we're doing. That's all we're going to do for stress and disease. Here's a new person. We're going to upgrade our size of our amount of heroes we can have in our barracks. Didn't cost us that much. Reason being, I want to take this Houndmaster and I really don't want to delete anyone. You can, if you not like someone, actually dismiss the hero and get rid of them. I don't want to do that to anybody right now. This is our new character. Our new combatant. He is called a Houndmaster. He is great at scouting. He is also pretty good at disarming traps later down the road. He also has a lot of bleed attacks. Great for that. He also has a dog with him who actually does most of the attacks. Kind of weird. Kind of cool to look at. And also he has the ability to stun people as well. And he can heal himself, which is also great. So when I get him, I'll show him off next time I go out as well. I like to get Lick Wounds and I like to get Hound's Harry. This is a stress reliever. It's good late down the road when you're at like 5th level. It's not really good early time. So we're going to fix that up here. And like I said, I wanted to change up the... Oh, we can't because he's committed. Okay. I haven't really shown off this blacksmith at all because I haven't really got it upgraded yet. I need more deeds. But that's fine. We're not really worried about that yet. We still don't have a boss fight yet. We still don't even have the survivalist actually up, or even the Nomad's Wagon up yet. We need to still complete more quests in the ruins. We have not done them yet because last time we had a hard or a medium in there we could not veteran, sorry, that we could not complete because we had no guys at level 3 or higher. So I will pick which one of these 3 we want to go back into. It will just probably be this one because we need to complete the ruins and move on. and get ready for big fights. So I'll see you then next time. Thank you.